In this class, we will understand storage classes in C programming language. There are 4 different types of storage classes. They are auto, static, extern, and register. Out of all these 4 storage classes, static is having more importance. So we will be focusing more on this concept. So let's first understand the definition of storage classes. A storage class defines the scope, means visibility, lifetime, means longevity, and storage location of a variable. In our previous class, we have discussed the concept of scope of a variable. So the scope of variables are automatic. Just by defining the program, defining the variables within the program, we will get that specific scope of a variable. It may be a local variable or a global variable. But by using these storage classes, we can define the scope of a variable, we can define the lifetime of a variable, and we can define the storage location of a variable. So that is the use of storage classes. So first we will see a brief understanding of these storage classes. What kind of definitions can we provide by using these storage classes, that we will try to understand. If you declare a variable as auto, it is going to get a local scope, and this auto, the use of auto along with the variable name, is going to get the same effect as local variable. Nothing special we are going to get by using this auto variable. By default, every local variable is defined as auto. You define it as auto, or you may not be using the auto. It is going to get the same local scope, and it is same as that of local variable. And the next one is static variable, and very important static storage class, a very important storage class. By defining a variable as static, we are going to get a local scope. Means the visibility of the static variables is going to be local to that function call. Means if the function is getting executed, then only we can access, then only that variable is visible. And along with that, we are going to get a global lifetime. Means even if the function gets executed, once the function is after executing the function also, the value in that variable will remain, will be existing. It is going to be there until the complete program execution. So that is the only advantage that we are going to get, which is local scope. Whenever that function is getting executed, then only we can access, and the value in that static variable is going to remain as it is until the complete program execution. So we will understand this concept by using an example. And the next one is extern and register. These two are beyond the scope of this course. We will just understand now, and we are not going to discuss about these two storage classes later in this class. Whenever we define a variable as, and we can define only global variables as extern, by defining a global variable as extern, what is that we are going to get is, we can access that variable across the files. What it means? Means as the size of the program gets increased in C programming, we can write the program on multiple files. So as the program is getting into multiple files, if a particular variable needs to be accessed from a different file, then we can define that variable as extern, so that we can get the access for that particular variable from the different files. So that is the use of extern. And the other one is register. Register means whenever we declare a variable as register, the value of the variable will get stored in register. So that's it. So no more discussion about this register, because you will get confused. So it is not required and beyond the scope of this course. So that is all about the extern and register. Now let's understand the concept of static and auto by using this example. Now before going into this example, this video is part of the entire C programming course, and in our channel you are going to get all the courses related to the computer science and engineering. All our courses are full courses and available for free. The link for the playlist or all the courses is provided in the description. Please click on the link and get the access to all the courses. And please subscribe to our channel. Your subscription helps us to create more content like this. So let's get started with this example. So a simple example I have taken, but we can easily understand the concept. So here I have taken the main function, and within this main function I have just called a function called counter 3 times, and this counter is not going to return any value, so I have defined it as void, and we are going to call this function 3 times. Now within this counter, what are the variables that are existing? So in this I have declared an auto variable which is same as that of local variable. Without this declaration also it remains the same. Okay, so it is not mandatory for you to define a variable as auto, means it is going to remain as local variable. And I have declared another variable, and the name of this auto variable is auto count, and I have assigned it to 0. The next is static variable int static count is equal to 0. Now we will understand the behavior of it, and we are incrementing every time we call this function. We are going to increment the auto count and we are going to increment the static count, and we are going to print, at last we are going to print the value stored in auto and the value stored in static count variables. So auto count and static count. Now the final output, so for every function call, so when we call this function, this is the output that will get generated. When we call this function for the second time, this is the output that will get printed, and the third time this output will get printed, and we will understand this by using these values. So what is the use of the static variable? That we will try to understand. As we have discussed, the local variables are going to have local scope and the longevity. So they are going to exist until this particular function gets executed. Now as we have defined this as auto, it is same as that of local variable. Now the first function call, so when we call this function call, we are going to go into this function. Now what is the value? Variable value, auto count is equal to 0 and it is local variable. Now the static value is equal to 0. Now we are going to increment this value. So now this value will become 1. And what about this static count? This value will become 1. And what is that? What is the use of this? What happens if you declare a variable as static means? So we are going to get the visibility or accessibility of this variable local to this function, means whenever we call this function, then only we can access this variable, but it is global lifetime, means until the completion of this entire program, this value remains the same. Means even after completion of this function call, this value remains the same. That is the point that you need to understand. This point, what we have discussed now, is the point that you need to understand in this entire video. So what is that point is, even after the execution of this function, this value remains the same. Okay, so now I have incremented the value of auto count, it has become as 1, and I have incremented the static count, now it has become 1, and we are going to print, and we are calling this for the first time, right? So in the first outcome, it is going to print auto count is equal to 1 and static count is equal to 1. It is existing, right? Now we have completed this function. Now what does that mean is, this variable, the value of this variable will be reassigned. So it is no more existing, but the value of the static is having a longevity of global lifetime, means until the complete program execution, this value will not get changed. Means even if you come out of this function call, access is within this local function call, but the longevity, the existence of that value is going to be there until the complete execution of this program. This point you need to understand. Okay, so now this value remains the same. Now I'm going to call this function for the second time. Now we are done with this. The next line of code will get executed. Now again we are going to come into this counter. Now this value has been updated. So this value has been killed, right? Previous value has been killed. Now we are going to get the same execution. So auto count is equal to 0, which is already defined. It is going to be there, and the static value remains as 1. This is the point that you need to understand. Okay, so it is the global lifetime, so it remains the same. Now we are going to increment it. Now this 0 will become 1, and this already existing value, which is having a global lifetime, will get incremented. Now it will become 2. Okay, and after that we are going to print, and in this print we are going to print auto count is equal to 1 and static count is equal to 2, because it is having a global lifetime. Okay, now we have completed this. Again, this local variable will become 0. Now when we call this for the third time, this definition, so in the program we have defined it at 0, so it remains the same. Now it has again become the local definition, which is 0, and this is having a global longevity, so global lifetime, so it remains as 2. Now it will get incremented. Now this 0 will become 1 and this 2 will become 3. So that is the beauty of static. Understand this. And these static variables, you are going to get lot of bits in gate or also in placement bits. So this is bit confusing concept and a bit advanced concept to understand. So try to focus more on this concept. So it has become 3, and finally in the final function call, we are going to print auto count as 1 and static count as 3. So that is the use of storage classes in C. So that's it for this class. In the next class, we are going to understand a very, very, very important concept where we are going to bring life to all these concepts: recursion, scope of a variable, storage classes. We will bring life to all these concepts in our next class, where we are going to understand a process diagram. A bit advanced concept, but don't miss that class, because that is the class where we are going to consolidate all these concepts starting from recursion. So that's it for this video. See you in the next class.